emphasize the importance of connection is because in order for you to be invested in any relationship, it's imperative that a connection is present. If you don't feel connected to the person or peoples that you're supposed to be in relationship with, then again, you're not going to invest yourself fully to that process. So whether it be you being connected to your child, you being connected to your spouse, you being connected to your friends, unless you really fully feel connected in that relationship, you're only going to give a half effort in terms of making that relationship work. How many of you in here could do a better job at connecting with your children? And I'm raising my hand, you should raise that hand too. We all can do a better job at connecting with our children. How many children in here could do a better job at connecting with your parents? I'm going to raise my hand for that one too. I'm somebody's child, I can do a better job at that. And what's interesting is that in order for us to actually have the connections that we're looking for, it requires something that is essential for us to come outside of our comfort zone. And that thing that it requires is vulnerability. Vulnerability. We have hang-ups with our relationships because there's an inability, or we've adopted and embraced an inability to be vulnerable in our relationships. Some of us in here have difficulty being vulnerable with ourselves. We can't stand in front of the mirror sometimes naked because we are uncomfortable being vulnerable in front of ourselves. And so if you're uncomfortable being vulnerable with you, how can you really be vulnerable with somebody else? And so as parents, now we're the parents of 4 children here, and that's it. One of my son is taking a picture right there. We're the parents of 4 children, but I have to admit that in order for us to be vulnerable with our children, for me personally to be vulnerable with my children, I have to be willing to take a risk. I have to be willing to take a risk and be willing to be wrong. How many of you in here are willing to be wrong? It's difficult. We always want to be right. But being vulnerable is about being willing to be wrong. And sometimes our children can teach us stuff that we had no knowledge of. One thing that I like to say is this, that the reference point of our children is totally different from our reference point. For instance, I'm 5'7" on a good day. And my line of vision is amazing to me because when I'm walking down the street, my eye line, my line of vision is focused in one particular direction. I'm focused straight ahead. Sometimes I might look up. I should probably look up more, but for the most part, it's focused straight ahead. It's amazing to me how often my children say, Baba, did you see that over there? My eyesight, my line of vision is not focused where they're focusing. So again, our children see things that we don't see, and they have the ability to teach us stuff if only we open ourselves up and allow ourselves to be vulnerable and take the risk to get down on our knees and see what they see. But we're unwilling to submit, get down on our knees and see what they see, and consequently, the relationships that we have with our children are fragmented. And the relationships that our children have with us, they don't trust us. So we have to do a better job at being vulnerable, at being willing to take the risk to see things from another perspective, from another point of view. That's how you get to that connection, being vulnerable.
When you feel that, say, All right, we're going to go into that second thing that gets in the way. What we mentioned to you is that the primary work that we do is counseling and coaching with couples. And I am amazed. I shouldn't be amazed because as Reverend Wilson talked about, the statistics in our community speak for themselves in terms of all of the relationships that go to the side, to the wayside. But I'm amazed at how much time we have to spend on the word, the concept, the understanding, the internalization of what it means to be committed. You cannot, there is no way for us as a community or for you in your own household to get to this place where you are really examining what it means to be collectively working, collectively stepping, taking responsibility and making sure things happen the way they need to happen. Not because you need to get the recognition, but because the work needs to get done. You can't even get there if you're not committed.
That's right.
We can't even have a conversation because I don't know if you coming or you staying. I don't know if you're going to tap out when it gets too hard. I don't know if I can get vulnerable because I don't know if I can trust you. Are you going to pick up some of my stuff? Because I've had people hurt me over and over again. Can I really be who I am? We can't get there unless we can get committed. And how many of us really understand, I'm still getting this in my spirit, that, when pastor is on the pulpit and we're talking about things that are going on, whether it's here at Union Temple or anywhere you're in a community of folks, and he's asking for you to step up. The leadership is saying we need help in this area. I cannot fathom, I can't even imagine what that would look like for me and what that means and what the impact could be if I cannot commit to myself, if I cannot commit to my own personal development, if I cannot commit to my partner, and I cannot commit to my children. How on earth am I going to commit to a community of people? So we have to understand that it's important to really push ourselves, to really grapple with this thing, commitment, that I do it when I don't want to do it, that I sit and listen when I'm tired of hearing his mouth. I do it because it's required, because it's a non-negotiable, because it's a given, because this is the part of me that I will give no matter what. I will show up, I will be present. When I can have that on lockdown, now we can get to collective work and responsibility. Because that's a higher level. I ain't going nowhere. And so that's what we have to really understand. I want to ask somebody, if one person can just stand and really, just for a moment, talk about in relationships, what prevents, if it's for you personally or from what you see from folks around you, what are one of the things that get in the way and keep us from really making commitment to self, to our family, to our community in the way that we could? Because it's kind of like rhetoric, to family, to self, to community, but really understanding what that means. What are some of the things that get in the way? Can one person offer that up? Come up here real quick. Who's going to take a risk? Come on, come on. Let's give her a round of applause as she comes up.
Thank you so very much.
Absolutely.
My ear was glued. Yeah, I was taking notes. How are you guys? Hello, family. I love each and every one of you. And within my family, which is 3 generations, 1, 2, 3, yeah. I'm a great-grandmother. And I'm going to tell on y'all. You knew I was going to tell it if I came up here. My daughter and my granddaughter are full of pride. False pride will get in the way of a committed relationship. And that's with husband and wife, mother and daughter, father and son. When you get so prideful that you're not willing to be vulnerable and to admit that you are wrong so that you can heal and then move on. I want my family to be in love. The kind of love that is experienced every year when I come down here for Kwanzaa. And love, people think, is a fun thing. Love works my last nerve. I don't know about y'all. It takes a lot of work. People think that love is somebody running through the meadow. You see them pictures? Everybody's happy. They're deliriously. And that is not it. Love is when you look at your child like this. And you just pray. Because they're grown now and all I can do is pray. And give them a little word. I'm a psychology major. I'm in college. I made the dean's list. You have to be a power of example for your children. You can't tell them what to do if you're not willing to grow. And we did Zawadi because they live all over the place tonight before we came over here. And you have to tell the person why you're getting your gift, your Zawadi. And if they haven't done anything for themselves, their community, or their family, you don't get a present. It's not like Christmas where you just participate in commercialism. It's about what have you done lately. And the best gift that I got was that my daughter told me that I had become more patient. That I had changed my attitude. But see, I'm a control freak. Do as I say. And they were like, no. So I just wanted to share that with everybody. And if you've been experiencing, let those guards down and let a tear trickle. You know how hard, when you be having fits and things, when you get ready to cry, trying to hold it back. Don't hold it back. Be free, let it out. Because there's a reward behind it. Thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing. So that really brought it home for us in terms of what it means to be committed. What it means to be committed. connection. You got to be connected to each other as a people. And you can't be connected to folks you're walking around with if you ain't connected to the folks in your family.
That's right.
It ain't real. It ain't real. It's pretend. And then we cannot have connection without fully going to this commitment piece. Last but not least.
The last C that we want to speak about is courage. Now, my wife, she just said something that is truly apropos. She says you can't be pretending that you're connected with the people that you're walking around with when you're really not connected with your family. That's real talk right there. And the reason why I say that is because we all, to some degree, wear masks. There's a facade that we walk around with. And sometimes we hide behind Africanity, Afrocentricity, name changes. We hide behind all that stuff. I changed my name 10 years ago. Not to say that I was hiding behind my name, but I've seen people in our community who make the assumption that because they changed their name, because they put on a dashiki, because they wear a that they're now going to be healed. And the reality is that there's still work that needs to be done after you do those superficial things. Those are surface things. You need to go beneath the surface and have the courage to go inside. Look at you. The sister right here just said that you got to be willing to do that ugly cry. You have to be vulnerable and be willing to do that ugly cry and have the courage to confront your own fears. Everybody in here is afraid of something. And if you don't believe me, if you're afraid of something, raise your hand.
All right.
Now let me ask you this next question. How many of you all have shared that fear with somebody?
All right. Y'all really bold.
That's pretty good. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
And see, I encourage you to take that next step and share it with somebody else, because the more you share your fear, the more you free yourself.
Yeah.
Because what you'll realize is that when you expose what you're going through and what you're afraid of, somebody else has already crossed that hurdle. Somebody else has already crossed that bridge, and they might be able to give you some insight that you can glean from. And you'll gain some appreciation from that process because you'll grow. You'll grow through the process of confronting your fears, and you'll get more courageous through that act. And so I want to encourage everybody in here to take a deeper look at yourself and challenge yourself to become more courageous, because in doing that, you'll become a better you, you'll become a bigger you, a more refined you, and then you'll be able to contribute more to the community. Woo!
All right. Round of applause. We're going to end by really focusing on this courage thing. Can I have one woman, one man, and one child stand to your feet? One woman. Come on, Kurt. You don't have no idea why you're doing it. One courageous man. Come on, man. Taylor, this. You standing? All right. And one child. My child right here. Can all the three of you come to the front, please? Come on down. Come on down. Come on down. Let's give them a drum while they come. Yes. So we talked about these three levels. We talked about community. You can't get to community if you're not making sure that you're doing what you need to do in your family. And you can't really be connected and committed to family if you're not with self, if you're not intentional about that thing. And so what I want each of you all to do is we talked about that. We know that the man, the woman, and the child all has a role in this collective work of responsibility thing. Do we not? Yes. Yes. All right. And so can you think right now for yourself, and this will heal somebody else, what can you do better? What can you do better? What can you do better to be committed, connected, and courageous as we all continue to move forward in this plight to not just only heal ourselves, heal our families, and heal our community in the spirit of Ujima? Who's going to go first? Let's give them a round of applause because they're going to do that.
What I can do better, I can start being honest with myself. I got to start with me. If I don't do that, don't nothing work right. So I got to start being honest with someone.
Most specifically, I would say what I can do better is cease the procrastination on those things that are most difficult for me. And right now, that is writing. So it's taken me a little longer than I had anticipated, but I am good and grateful about the things that I've encountered in the meantime. So I think that the Spirit is guiding, but I would like to be more focused as the new year comes, and not be distracted by even the beautiful things, even the lovely things. But I want to say I was here earlier with the children interacting in the Kwanzaa program. My name is Moti. And I'm on a 7 states and 7 days Kwanzaa tour to coincide with the 7 principles of Kwanzaa. This is my 5th state, and tomorrow I'm going to New York City. I started off in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm from Chicago, Illinois, and that's where I'll end up. With you all, and I came by the church today. My brother's friend brought me by, and I got here with the kids, and we were singing some Kwanzaa songs, and they were showing me their bracelets, and we just had a fabulous time. So I told them I would come back this evening, and I just appreciate what you all are doing. I was a student at Cal State Long Beach, and Dr. Maulana Karenga was my classroom teacher. And earlier I was speaking to one of the brothers over at the Our Lady Church over there, and they were showing the film, The Black Candle. And the brother Malachi Asante came by our festival 25 years ago, speaking about community and family. 25 years ago, we started a community center in Chicago on the south side, a community known as Roseland, where the president did his organizing. And that community center, the Soweto Center, Chicago, we put on something called the Kwanzaa Summer Festival, because we thought that 7 days certainly wasn't enough for us to change the values in our community. And so 25 years ago, we started that program, and Malachi Asante actually just came by and included us in his film. You see somebody just like me, right? And so I'm so grateful for that. But these experiences is what I wanted to say, is that these experiences, when I started out, I was just, 17-year-old looking at Dr. Karenga talking all of this crazy stuff, And so let's keep talking to the children, because we don't know what riches we will get, what service we will receive as a community. So let's treat everybody, every child, like a president. All right.
I could be doing better of sharing with people.
Sharing with people? Round of applause. She wants to do that.
So again, we all have to have the courage to be who we are and do what we know we need to do. Men, raise your hand if you have the courage to lead. All right, put your hands down. Men, raise your hand if you have the courage to follow.
Man, what you talking about?
All right, put your hands down. Ladies, raise your hand if you have the courage to lead. I'm raising my hand. I shouldn't raise. I just sit on the hand. Ladies, raise your hand if you have the courage to follow. All right, put your hands down. The reality of our situation in the black community, we have strong men, but we also have strong women. And I think that as strong men and as strong women, we need to understand and know when we need to be supportive, when we need to take the lead, when we need to defer, when we need to follow. And there's one thing that I'm noticing that I think we need to pay particular attention to is that, and I know I'm not talking to anybody in here, but when it comes to black male-female dynamics, what I'm starting to see more in the work that we're doing is that women are taking more of the lead. It's not a bad thing. Women have the ability to lead, but again, I just want to bring it to the attention if you all didn't know that women are taking more of the lead. Now, what I encourage us fellas to do is that we need to step up to the plate. We need to put our game face on. We have a responsibility that we're not attending to right now. And so we need to step up to the plate, manage our homes, manage our households, and we need to assume our proper role in the house. We need to assume the leadership position in the house. Now again, when it comes to women who are taking that leadership position, somebody got to lead. If your man is coming up short, somebody got to lead. If you're not leading as a black man, black woman, please step up and lead. I encourage you to do so. I also encourage you to step to the man and support him and try to encourage him to facilitate the process of him understanding what the issues may be and how he can regain that position in his life.
That's right.
Because black men are hurting just as well as black women are hurting. And unfortunately, sometimes black women are allowing their hurting black men to influence them and drag them down in relationships but also in their life. Some women don't come to church because their black man won't come to church. I mean, that's problematic because the woman, she also needs to be healed. She needs to be self-directed. She needs to be directed by God, and she needs to get good word from the pastor.
That's right.
If your man don't come, that don't mean that you can't come. What I would encourage you to do is to help your man understand why he's not coming and walk him through that process. And then fellas, vice versa. If your woman's not supporting you, if she doesn't have your back, talk to her. try to see where she is and examine, where her psycho-emotional space is, and help her get to a space where she's more supportive, where she's more nurturing, where she's more encouraging, and she accepts and she appreciates that leadership role that you're trying to attain. We need each other, y'all. Again, it's about connection. It's interdependent. We all are interconnected. And in order for the community to be healthy, the families need to be healthy. But in order for the families to be healthy, the parents need to be healthy. That's right. So we all need to be on one accord. One accord.
Come on now.
I need everybody to stand to their feet, please. We're going to say this 3 times. If you haven't got anything else from anything that we've said here this evening, this is not a game. We can come and we can play and we can have fun and we can sing and we can drum and we can do all of the wonderful things that make us feel good and that are unique expressions of who we are as a people. But when we leave here, what do we have to do? We have to do the work.
That's right.
We got to do the work. So when I say do the work, I want you to repeat it back to me 3 times, as long and as hard as you can, and I want you to hold in your mind something you know you got to work on going into 2013. I'm going to think about mine. I already know mine is. I don't got to think.